Good afternoon. Welcome to the post-game press conference from the NCAA tournament second round after Susquehanna defeats Christopher Newport 42-28. We'll open things up. Coach Tom Perkovich with a opening statement about today's game.
Thank you. What a great college football game. First of all, I thought it was, well contested. A lot of great players, a lot of great effort, a lot of great football today in the game. I'm really proud of our team for coming ready to play. I thought we, obviously we were here before and didn't go our way. We're such a different football team right now with the work our team's put in and these guys have put in over the last 2 months, believing in our process, believing in, each other. We've had a lot of, bumps and injuries and a lot of things that would, a lot of guys would just, I think, be done, or say they're done. And our guys have never quit. They keep pushing forward. I thought we came physically ready to play, and you could feel that on the field a lot of times. And just our execution, down the stretch, I thought was the second half, even first half, obviously, but second half I thought was really, really strong. Behind our quarterback, Josh, and our defense just continuing to make it hard for them. It's such a potent offense. Just to see our defense do that is pretty spectacular. To hold an offense to 21 points, that's averaging like 46 or something, whatever it was coming in the game is a hell of a job, and just really proud of all of our guys. The end obviously got interesting with the kick return. We got to be better there, but I thought throughout the game, we played our brand of football and came out victorious.
Coach, we're joined here by Galen Lementor, Berkeley Wagner, and Josh Ehrlich. Before we open it up to questions, just speak to these three guys' efforts out there today.
Yeah, we're not here without them, right? Josh, just been unbelievable, since our time here last time, and is really just taking the bull by the horns and just been the guy, man. He just made play after play today, some unbelievable plays with his feet, his arm, some of those scrambles and finding people down the field. We go through him, and he's been on fire and been awesome, and just a consummate leader. No matter what happens to him, adversity, he faced early in the season, he's come out and been a pro. Berkeley, unbelievably proud of Berkeley. This is his first year really seeing legitimate snaps for us, and he played for us last year due to injury, but now he's really taken the job. And he's been, super productive for us down the stretch. Today, I think 2 picks, right? So, just a huge game from him. And then Galen's kind of been our best player on defense all year. I didn't see the stats on how many sacks he had, but he had 3 last week. I think he had at least 2, if 3 again. Geez Louise. Just been crazy. And, he was a guy that, we recruited to develop. He's a junior, but, he's bought into the development. We talk a lot about that in our program, and we take a lot of pride in our player development, and he's a huge example of that. I'm proud of how he plays because he gets all the guys around him to play that way, and you can just feel it, and we started moving him around after last time we were here. We started moving him a lot, and it's made our defense a lot better, and he's obviously come through and done a phenomenal job. So it's a great group of guys.
We'll open it to questions.
Galen, can you sort of talk about the pressure that you guys were able to get on Barry, and obviously it disrupted what they wanted to do?
Yeah, I think the main thing that we focused on was keeping the coop, keeping them bottled up back there, and from the first snap we want to show him that we're going to be in his face all game, and he got scared, he didn't want us coming up and getting him. Let's go.
Any questions, Logan?
For any of the defensive guys, the turnovers too. Combined with the pressure up front, was that really what led to the turnovers, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it starts with this guy here and the rest of the D-line and the linebackers. But when they're in the quarterback's face, like Galen kind of just said, it makes it hard for him to make throws, and then we're able to just fly around out there and kind of see where the quarterback's looking and then go from there. So it starts up front, and then we're able to get the plays.
Josh, If you would talk about, I'm gonna butcher his name here, Kadensky.
Yes, Johnny.
Who, I guess he was hurt some during the year, is that right? And then, maybe he had 2 catches, I think?
He's been through the ringer this year. He in mono, and then thank God he's here. He had a huge car crash. So for him
Hit a
to
deer.
hit a deer on
Hit
the
a
side
deer
in
and
Jersey.
got really banged up, and it's just continued to push through it. We lost Carter McCauley, who was
84.
a starter during the week this week, and but Johnny's been one of those guys for us. Again, just stay in the path.
Just stepped up in a big way. A lot of those one-on-one catches, coming back to the ball, really fighting for it. I've had all the confidence in the world in him since camp, so it's just great to see him out here. No one deserves today more than Johnny K.
Well, that play on the first series when you're scrambling around back there and suddenly he's just there, no one anywhere near him. Kind of take me through that.
Yeah, they cut him loose and in cover 2. I was kind of my eyes were lower than they should be, because we bounced the running back out kind of on an out route with a dig behind it, and then they cut one loose. So I was able to keep my eyes downfield, and he just made a great play, caught the ball, ran for 50, and we were able to get in the next play. So like I said, Johnny K had a great game. I have all the confidence in him moving forward, and no one deserves this more than him.
Josh, you talked about Coach mentioned a little bit how your season turned after you came down here earlier this year. Any extra motivation coming in today, the way that first game went?
I mean, no, not really. We knew it was a business trip, and we're a completely different team, like Coach said. I really took the coaching points after last time we were here with Coach Perk and our OC Coach Wine, and just try and work on it for 6 weeks, and it led us back down to here. I was happy that we saw, if we beat W&J, we would come back down here. So I was excited. I know all the guys were too. So it's just, it's more than me. We lost that game as a team last time, and then we won this game as a team this time.
That was such a bizarre game with the final minute of the first half when the game totally turned around, and then the second half's a monsoon basically, and no one could do anything.
Right.
Did you almost look at that game as in a way like it didn't even happen in some regard?
No, not at all.
No?
We took that completely to heart. I'm sure Coach can talk about this too.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about being able to play in anything, right at our place, like mental toughness, and that was these guys will tell you. Obviously, we weren't happy. And it was kind of a turning point. You lose 2 in a row because we had Hopkins the week before, and then you come down here on our first road trip, and it was kind of a tale of 2 halves for us. Like we played well, pretty okay on offensively in the first half, and not as well defensively. And the second half was kind of flipped. Like we were able to stop them a little bit, and offensively couldn't get anything going. To keep it close, except for fumbling on the one going out and giving them 7. But I thought we had a bye week right after that. And that was probably the best thing we could have had because it gave us a chance to just reset ourselves and get back to who we want to be. I thought we lose 15 starters off last year's team, guys. We didn't think it was going to be an overnight process, right? With a lot of new faces. We knew I talked to these guys about a growth mindset all year, and we hit some adversity, but it talks to the character of our team on being able to push through that, some tough times. The beauty was they were non-conference games, right? So we still got the chance to go play conference games, go win our conference, get back to the playoffs, and then redeem yourself, And I think I don't have to tell these guys that, they know that. But we take losing to heart at our place. This isn't a group of kids that is okay with it just because it rained. We're coming after you, as much as we can and put together a great effort. The physicality difference between today and that game in September was incredibly different. We all could feel it, and I think that was a huge part of the game.
Coach, you got the ball back after that onside kick with about 10 minutes left. How big was chewing all that clock off?
Oh man, that was the drive of the game, maybe drive of the day. being able to put it down all the way to 2, whatever. And punch it in and go up 3 scores and put all the pressure back. I told our guys before the game, momentum was going to be the factor. You alluded to the end of the half last time we were here. We were up 21-10 or 28-10 maybe with 2 minutes to go in the half, and all of a sudden you're down. This crazy turn of events, and You know, it's probably a little gun shy at halftime today, you know, not giving them the ball back or with the least amount possible, you know, using up the clock. But, you know, that drive, I don't know what our TOP was in the second half, but it was a lot. You know, and that's who we want to be. We want to be a methodical offense, and then we have the chances to take it down the field, we will. But if we can grind you, we're going to grind you. And that was our plan today. And you know, because you got to keep Connor Berry off the field, guys. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. We knew it, and our best defense was keeping our defense fresh, keeping our offense on the field, and our guys executed that.
Berkeley, just one question about the first interception. I think it was one possession game still at that point. And it's kind of a weird bounce type situation, but you came down with it. How much did that fire up the defense? And again, you guys had such a big first half defensively.
Yeah, I think it was the second pick in 2 consecutive drives, but it was a great play by Brandon Shipley, D lineman. He got his paw on it and knocked it in the air, and then I was able to just come down with it. And from there, like, that's the story of the game, was just the D line playing well. And then the second half, the offense being able to keep us fresh so the D line can keep going and keep making plays in the back end.
Coach, I think we're all set here. Just want to talk about the you guys moving ahead in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, a big win for the program.
Yeah, you know, we'll figure out. I guess it was Eastern. I think it's Eastern won. You know, we'll see where that's going to be played, and all of that. Obviously, they played well to beat F&M. F&M's really, really good. So we know we're going to have our hands full, but you know, we're back in Pennsylvania. So I'm sure our crowd will. You know, you saw how we traveled today. It's pretty awesome. We got a great football family at Susquehanna, and you know, really proud of everyone. It's a family win today. You know, we don't do it without those folks and their parents and the alumni that were there, and former parents that were there. You know, former players, which was great to see. But you know, we're looking forward to another great challenge on the next round.
Awesome. Congratulations again on the second round victory over Christopher Newport, 42-28, Susquehanna.